Movies have always been an art of light and shadow. Shadow narrative as one of the narrative techniques in movies, ingeniously combines light and shadow to highlight the theme, strengthen the context and guide the audience's emotional experience. This narrative technique elevates shadow to a narrative tool beyond visual effects. In many cases, it can enhance the narrative efficiency and create good symbolic meanings. Today I will analyze the suicide scene of Hao, an exemplary good son in the Taiwanese film Sun. To analyze the role of lighting here and also analyze the distribution of light sources. 1. The distribution of the light sources. Let us take a look at this segment. Hao enters the frame from the right side and turns into the room, and the left side is the wall. The light from the room is projected onto the wall, and the light on the wall disappears as Hao enters the room and is then covered by Hao's shadow. From this, it can be seen that the main light source is a strong one located inside the room, with the light position being low and being hard light, so that the shadow can be significantly enlarged on the wall. The distance between the light source and the wall, and Hao's movement trajectory, jointly determine the dynamic effect of the shadow expansion. The other light sources in the room are deliberately lowered or even completely turned off to form a high contrast picture. As a result, the shadows on the wall appear dark and dominant, and Hao himself only appears on the right side of the frame. And Hao's shoulders are also illuminated, indicating that there is light outside the room behind Hao. From the illuminated area, the light is coming from a relatively high angle above the back of the character. It is soft light, and its main function is to highlight the character as outline. 2. The role of lighting. By casting shadows and using backlighting, the director avoids directly showing the violent scene of suicide and instead directs the audience's attention to the dynamic changes of the shadows. This indirect approach retains the impact of the scene while giving the audience room to feel, rather than confront the bloodiness directly. The process of the shadow gradually expanding from small to covering the entire wall is a progressive visual build-up. As Hao moves, the shadow gradually occupies the frame, and the audience can feel a sense of oppression, as if witnessing Hao's journey of the heart along the way, and his final desperate resolve. Hao himself is presented as a dark figure in strong light. His depersonalization treatment of removing his face makes his individual identity recede, highlighting the universality and tragedy of this suicidal act. There are thousands upon dozens of people like Hao, triggering certain social reflections. 3. Symbolic meanings. 1. The visualization of inner darkness. Hao's shadow transforms from a small outline to a huge black shadow covering the walls, symbolizing the gradual eruption of his inner despair and pain from being concealed. The size and coverage of the shadow reflect the psychological burden he can no longer suppress, and the light projected by society and family on him leaves him breathless. 2. Impact on the family. The wall as a symbolic family space, being covered by the shadow, might imply how Hao's death will shroud his family. His suicide is not only a personal choice, but also a devastating blow to the family relationship, especially to his father's life. 3. Metaphor of social pressure. In the film, Hao is portrayed as a sunshine boy, bearing the expectations of family and society. The light source is in front of him, representing the social pressure he has to face. The shadow behind him symbolizes the consequences of the pressure he bears, and his moving towards light means moving towards extinction. His shadow is his true repressed self. Lastly, the technique of shadow narrative enables the audience to peer into the innermost recesses of the characters' minds. while the interaction between light and shadow further enriches the dimensions of the story, resulting in a captivating effect both visually and emotionally in the film.